Okay, this is Jacob Schmidt with DeerHuntingSchool.com. Um, if you're on YouTube, you can check out DeerHuntingSchool.com and see several other videos like this and some other things on the website. Just check out this video. I hope you'll learn something from it that'll help you be more successful while deer hunting. What I want to point out in this video, I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible, but bear with me here. I'm just going to kind of show you just a little bit around this. This is an aerial photo that I took off of Google Earth. I use Google Earth all the time, looking at aerial photos and stuff. But I just wanted to kind of talk about this just to kind of give you an idea of one way that I really see a lot more deer and get closer to deer, because really all I do is bow hunt. Me and my wife, pretty much all we do is bow hunt. She does a little bit of gun hunting. My kids do a little bit of gun hunting, but I generally do nothing but bow hunting. She does about 90% of bow hunting. So anyways, how I get closer to these deer, and what I just want to point out here and show you is see this brown, these brown areas here, something like here. Areas like this, all this brown, and this is a small picture of a huge area, but here, all this brown, that is mostly oak trees, and this aerial photo was took in the winter, so the oak trees had their leaves off. Now if you see the green here, that is pine trees, and what I just want to kind of give you a real run through of this area. This green patch here is very thick. If you see the little spots in it where you can see some brown and stuff, you can tell it doesn't look very thick, but what it is, they went through and thinned out some of these trees, so it let this grow up underneath, and it's very, very thick. So anyways, this is a bedding area. Okay, this is where deer are bedding, and this area here is the same way. And there's deer that are bedding in here, from anywhere from bucks, does, just whatever. All kinds of deer are bedding in here. Okay, so this is a bedding area. What is going on here is a lot of these deer are coming out, and they are feeding out here in these oak trees and stuff, especially when there's acorns on the ground. They're feeding a lot in these oak trees. They have water here. There's a pond here. There's actually, not on the picture, but right under this arrow that I'm drawing right here, there's a pond down there. I'm just going to put a P. There's a pond about not very far under that, maybe 100 yards. So from this bedding area here to this pond here is no more than 300 yards, I would say. And then this one here, from here to here is probably, maybe 300 yards, probably about the same. But anyways, this area here is really not that thick. This area right here is really not that thick. It is pines, but it's really not that thick. If you look at it from here, it looks thick, but it's not. Because when you're looking at this aerial photo, you're seeing the tops of these trees, to where here you're seeing down to the ground. That's why it looks thin in here, but the undergrowth is very thick because the sun is allowed to get through this area and this area, and these are not like that. So anyways, what these deer are doing, they're feeding on these oak trees a lot, and I'll see a lot of people will come out here and they will put a deer stand like where this X is, or usually not that far, but anyways, they'll put a deer stand like where this X here is, because that's where the deer are feeding, and which sometimes is a good idea. But in open woods like this, and if this photo was larger, you would see that there's thousands of acres that are like this here, that are just oak trees. So these deer have thousands of acres that they can go pick where to eat. So when you're hunting this little spot, especially if you're hunting with a bow and arrow, you're hunting around, I don't know, there may be 100 oak trees that you can shoot in your shooting range, maybe not that many. But you're hunting these specific, say 100 oak trees, while the deer have 100,000 of them to go. So the deer don't have really no reason to actually be feeding there so much. So what I do to get close to these deer and get a lot more deer in shooting range is I find where these deer are bedding. And there are some exceptions to this, but this will work a lot. Okay, I'll find where these deer are bedding, which is here. These two areas here are bedding areas. And I will find deer trails. In this particular one, there is a rub line, heavy, usually every year, down this area here. And that's one thing about rub lines, primary scrape areas and things. And this here is a primary scrape area. This area right here, there's every year for 5 years probably, there has been scrapes in this area. And last year, there was probably 20 scrapes in this particular area here. Mostly right in here, there was about 20 scrapes. Along this one here, there was about 6 scrapes on this area here. But there was about 20 scrapes in this little small area. There was a scrape here, big scrape here. But there was several scrapes here, so that's a primary scrape area. So what these deer are doing is when they're coming out of these bedding areas in specific locations, more well-defined specific locations than hunting out here. So what I do is here, a lot of these deer are coming out and they're hitting this line and they're coming and going out to feed. You know, they're coming out of different locations and they're hitting this and they're going out to feed. Okay, they're coming here, they're walking up, they're hitting this area, they're coming out to feed, going out to feed this way. Some of them, you know, are coming down here, going out to feed. They're coming here, they're going out to feed. They're coming here and they're going out to feed. This bedding area here, a lot of the deer are coming out, coming and crossing this road, and they're coming down through here and going out to feed. They're coming, you know, from here, coming out through here, going to feed. They're coming down here, coming here. They're going to feed. I don't know why the deer do this, but you'll find areas where there's just a lot of deer. Here, this section here, a lot of the deer are coming out here, and they're going to feed. Okay, they're coming from all over here, hitting certain locations, and they're going to feed. They're coming out, walking these edges, going to feed. Okay. That's the way deer do. They will, I don't know why, but they will find areas when they're coming out of a bedding area. There will be you can have a huge bedding area. This here is a very large bedding area, probably 50 acres. This one here, this large one's probably 50-acre thicket. There's many a deer bedding in it, and these deer come out. Not all of them will come out in the same area, but a lot of these deer will cross these two areas. Okay. This area here, lots of deer come through this area. This area here, lots of deer come through this area. This area here, a lot of deer come through this area. This area right here, a lot of deer come through this area. So what do you want to do? I think most of you's probably got it figured out now. What I do is I find these areas like this, and what I do, and this is what I recommend, you can do what you want, and I'm sure that you've pretty well kind of figured it out by now yourself, most of you have, but what you want to do is you want your deer stand in areas like this where you can shoot to these trails, where there's a lot of trails that are meeting together. No, you're not going to see deer every single time you go to your deer stand. No, you're not going to kill deer every single time you go to your deer stand. Yes, you are going to see a lot more deer. Yes, a lot more of the deer are going to be within bow range by putting your stand in areas like that rather than out here where you think you're feeding. Now, there are exceptions to that, and there's other videos and stuff like that at deerhuntingschool.com. You know, check them out. You want your stands here, check out deerhuntingschool.com. For more information on deer hunting, but you really want your stands where a lot of these trails are coming together. You want, if you have a trail going this way, and a trail going this way, it doesn't make a lot of sense to put your stand here to hunt this trail right here when you can put your stand here and hunt all three trails. Okay, I hope this makes sense to you. This is Jacob Schmidt with DeerHuntingSchool.com. Come visit it. Check out the videos and the posts, many videos like this. I'm adding videos often, so come back often, check it out. Hope this video helps you to get closer to some deer. Maybe you'll be the next person that I read about in the paper or see on TV that's killed a monster buck. Leave me comments. I love seeing that. Leave me some comments what you think. If you have any tips, I also like seeing that. I'm not beyond learning something. I try to learn something every day. Thanks for watching the video. Check out DeerHuntingSchool.com. Bye-bye.